Okay, I got it. It's always a challenge. So, how is everyone? I'm so excited you're here on the call with me today. A little CYSS Pop Up. We're just all getting started here. So, I'm going to keep myself in speaker mode so you can see me. And then what I'm going to do, hi Autumn, yay, so fun. Hi. Oh my God, so fun. I feel like I've been like away and now I'm like back. So lots of fun to come. So I'm going to kind of take you on the journey that I just went on and also sort of like the next level journey of my work and what's happening. So what I'm going to do is mute everyone for now. And then when we get to, later on, I can open up the call and we can all chat. Or whoever wants to chat can raise their hand. So I'm going to mute. Try this one more time. I don't know why it's not doing it. Okay. All right. Awesomeness. Okay, so, this has been like a really wild, fun journey. And I'm so excited you guys are here with me so we can play together. When I started Create Your Soul Style, I had no idea what I was creating. I knew the work, but I didn't know what the evolution of the work would really look like. And when I learned that it's actually your true style, and which is actually just your true self coming out, and we learn how to adorn that, it was really this eye-opening moment of me learning how to claim more of myself so that I could show up more for my clients in the world. And so that's what the journey's really become about. Yes, it's about clothing. Yes, we learn to get dressed, but we really learn how to be our true selves. And this means a true expression of self as it relates to your business and your life. So I know you guys have got this because you have done the work and it's really awesome, but some of you haven't done the work. So we're going to learn a little bit more about it. So the biggest results that all of my clients that have gone through Create Your Soul Style is that they've learned to accept and trust themselves. And this is a really big breaking point in the healing journey and in the entrepreneurial journey, because then you start to lead. And so you do this by being able to create a real and transparent identity. And this is why the world can see and feel and hear you in a split second, right? That's why someone can see an image of you and go, oh my God, I know who she is, and I want to work with her, and be attracted to you and understand you. Now, we kind of need a process a way to process our discord too, so that it's not I'm a victim, something happened to me, and I need help. And I remember when I started out in the entrepreneurial world, I was like, oh my God, I'm so broken. I was pretty broken. I was pretty sick too. So I was like, oh my God. And then I learned how to filter the discord through this process. And because in my spiritual journey, I actually didn't think that discord was allowed. I had this really big misunderstanding that you couldn't. Oh my God, I just realized my microphone's on the floor. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay. Hold on. Let me snap this pup on. So in the way of understanding discord and really thinking, okay, something's going to show up and it's not right. But I would misinterpret that and think that something was wrong with me because the event in front of me wasn't right for my reality. And so I would then change an identity and be okay, now I'm going to be this person over here because things got so messed up over there that I'm going to do a shift. And so I got really good at shape shifting throughout life. And then I was like, this is exhausting. I can't do this anymore. So when you start to be your true, real, transparent self, you have more energy, you feel more free, you feel more comfortable. And style is about getting dressed, but it's also about curating your life's preferences, needs, and desires. It's also a feeling that just speaks for itself, and you really can't describe it. But it comes from knowing yourself and what feels beautiful to you. And when you know what feels beautiful to you, you find this it's an attraction, it's a chemistry, and that's where manifestation comes in, because you're actually being drawn to something that chemically feels beautiful to you. And style becomes a form of communication, and it is a visual representation of who you are.
But it really is the first statement that you make when you meet someone and when they get on your site, right? Because like that's, for most of us here, we all have online businesses, so we have something that we are going to put out there that needs to work for us while we're doing other work in the background. So the soul style journey, it feels like really ethereal and intangible, but it's not. It is tangible. And I adore helping women heal by finding their beauty within inside themselves. And it's just waiting to flourish with them. And I've taken a long, winding road to get there. I feel comfortable in my soul and my body now, and how I present it, both of them, to the world. But I have struggled with body issues for decades, and I've battled through chronic illnesses for years, but I've advocated through myself in the medical system. I've also looked at how that medical system treats women as if we are crazy and we have to endure so much crap to be healthy. And I had to go through 13 different surgeries to get to health on my end. I've also overcome sexual assault and abusive relationships, and I have searched everywhere outside myself for the love and acceptance that I needed. And I also looked at my career and also like to the bottom of my closet to fix myself. And that's really not where we want to go. Like, that's not really what's going to give me the answers. And I thought I wasn't enough just being me. I thought I wasn't worth it. I thought I was stupid. I totally thought I was stupid. Like, I couldn't do something without doubting myself that I wasn't doing it right. I had a long story of thinking that I was annoying, and that I spent a lifetime. I have really worked hard to learn to trust myself. But the process isn't straightforward. Like, we want to be like, go to school, go to college, get a job, find a man or find a partner, and then have a kid. And that's what we're taught, right? Like that's sort of the linear path. But there is another path out there that's completely the winding road. And I'm really, really up for this journey because it's super exciting. I used to be afraid of it, and now I'm in it. So when you trust yourself, miracles do begin to happen, and you learn what you desire, and then you manifest those desires. And that's like really, really cool. But two of my biggest fears, and I was going to write a blog post about this a while ago, and then I was like, okay. So two of my biggest fears were to be alone and homeless, like destitute, right? Like I couldn't ever find this place of comfort. And over the course of my life, I've been in survival mode a lot. And these two things have been really grasping at me and keeping me from feeling safe and secure. Now, alone is just like being comfortable with yourself, but I really struggled finding comfort and like it was okay to be alone. And I mean, I'm okay being alone with myself, like one-on-one time, but alone in life without a partner, I felt like I had to have that identity. So thought the right partner would make it all better. The right home will give me the comfort and ease that I needed. But my true journey was about hiding out from who I actually was and wearing so many different masks to cover that up. And my biggest mask was that I was sick. And I led sickness as my journey for 20 years. That was like the front-lying mask, and I kept having to really battle around that. And I hadn't felt freedom inside my body or spirit since I was 18. And at 38, I started to question, that was 4 years ago, I started to question more deeply the effects of this. I started to see the pattern, and I was like, oh my God, this is total insanity. I cannot show up in life anymore. But all the other healing modalities I had done did not work. And so I was willing to risk it all and risk everything I had. I left my apartment in New York City. I moved in with my family. I let them help me get healthy. I'm still working on that healing journey with the physical body, but it ends up that it's really in your mind. And this is the wildest piece, because we have choice. We can dictate our reality. And I really battled with believing this for a long, long, long time. So the real moment that I committed to the entrepreneurial journey was that when I was 38 and I said, oh my gosh, I have to do this differently. And I have to be able to overcome these obstacles and run my life my way. And I thought it was something called the Passionate Rebel Lifestyle brand, but that was completely out of alignment with where I was at the time, because I was sick and I couldn't lead a rebellious, in my mind, what rebellious would be like a nomad on the road, doing her thing, playing her way and monetizing herself, right? That was 4 years ago. And I just, I was sick in bed for I'd say 8 hours of the day, and then I get up for 4 or 5, and then I go back to sleep, and I would rest the rest of the night and then into the wee hours of the morning, because sleep was just a really hard thing to get. So when I started to say, okay, I'm going to commit to this journey and I'm going to figure out what it is. And I went through many different programs. Like I did B-School. I worked with Jeff Walker. I worked with Frank Kern. I mean, I like scoured the internet to learn all the different ways to monetize myself and monetize information. But 9 months in, I almost died. And I was like, okay. I lost my ability to have children, and I still thought that this was sort of my purpose, was just to nurture something, but I was going to run a fun business on the side. And then I thought there like must be another way, but I'm not working hard enough to get healthy. I must be broken. I'm not doing enough. And so that same story was playing over and over and over. But I knew it wasn't true. I knew that like deep down, I did have a belief, but the facts of life had like shown me this journey and this path that I could not buy into, but I felt like victim to. But there was this moment, I was at a TED Talk, and it was on creativity. And I sat there and I knew I was destined to be creative. And I committed to that journey over everything else. And that journey is what has filled my soul back up, what has made my body get stronger, what has allowed me to communicate and connect with other people, because I've been on that creative process, that creative journey. Now, I still navigate my healing journey, and it's softer now. Like, I don't do the medical infusions that I used to do. I don't do a lot of the harsh realities that I used to do with inside the medical industry. So I do just live like an average everyday life, right? I get up, I do my yoga or my stretching, I walk my dog. I usually walk my dog, then I do my yoga. I eat, I write, I work with a couple clients, I do some more writing, and then I go hang out. Or maybe I'll go to another yoga class or something. So it's a pretty average life. I actually used to have an issue with that, and now I'm really comfortable. I've accepted it. It feels really good to me. But in that fulfillment, like, it's so much greater than I'd ever experienced before, because I found those beats in the day, right? Like I told you, I can find my own rhythm and I can be the persona of the moment. So like today I woke up and I was like in a more of like a workout style clothes. So I was in like little short shorts, like athletic short shorts, and a sports bra, wearing, doing yoga, walking the dog. And then I worked with a client and I got cozy. We worked together for 2 hours. It was amazing. Then my dog and I took a really long walk, because that was like, you've been sitting for 2 hours. You need to get off your ass. So when you can find those moments that feed you, that's the best thing. And then you'll really know like how to take action and how to lead into it. So I do keep a calendar, so there is some structure, but I keep a lot of open creative time, because that's where I find flow. And if I don't, that's where I die, right? I am slowly killing myself when I don't provide myself with that creative window. So, and I know this really, really clearly now, like I can't deny it. And creativity for me is different than what we were taught. It's not just painting and clay and photography or woodworking. I mean, I've done a million different creative outlets over looking for more creative ways. But once I shifted my idea of creativity, I was like, oh, it's like going for a walk and processing and listening to music and having an internal conversation. For me, that's creativity, because it's inspiring. I'm taking data and information and I'm feeding it out into a document, or just like I'm working out thoughts, concepts, ideas. And usually it's inspirations coming when I'm in motion. So, or, it could be me just walking around stores and looking what's in the marketplace for clothing and seeing like what feeds my soul and what's actually current and relevant, because trends do dictate the marketplace. There will always be places that you can find certain items, but for the most part, like, fashion is based on trends. So you kind of just need to know what's out there so you can have a general idea. I really let inspiration and curiosity lead me now. And, like, sometimes it's just to have a dress-up party for one, because that's really fun. Sometimes I just take the evening off from anyone else in the world, and I play with my clothes, because for me, I'm learning how they work with my body. And it's what I teach, right? So I'm learning new ways to communicate it and internalize it. Now I'm starting to do Instagram stories with the way I get dressed so that you can see how I make my decision-making processes. So my job is to be myself and express it, to stay grounded and express it, and to move away from other people's opinions. OPO, super toxic, right? Other people's opinions will stop you dead in your tracks. And when you can take a step back and say, yeah, I don't need to own that. Okay, great. Thanks for that feedback. Like many times people will come up to me and tell me they don't like the way I look in a photo, that my hair's too ashy, or my roots are too big, or I look too sexy, or I'm too racy. I mean, I get it all. And I'm like, thanks for sharing. I'm going to block you now. Because it's just not fair. So I really find that, when we really try to be, when we try to answer to the marketplace by what they want, by their opinion of us, we are weakening our own power. And when we can actually move towards how we feel confident inside ourselves and find strength within our own expression, that becomes powerful. So this is how I monetize myself and tell my story. And so you can do it too, which is really cool. So if you're ready to shift into new reality, I'm just going to walk you through some of the acceptance and trust steps so we can understand a little bit about it. The biggest goal is to accept what is. That means the size of your ass, the size of your boobs, the size of your belly, maybe the wrinkles under your eyes, the wrinkles on your forehead. I've been going through the do I need to get Botox journey. Today it looks pretty good. I've been getting good rest. But many days I can look like this, and I've been hyper conscious of this guy right here. So that's on a superficial level. Accepting what is also, the state of your relationship or the state of your family affairs. However that looks, you have to accept what it is so that you can be present in the process. And then when you do that, you start to build trust with yourself because you're saying yes to what is right there. And that's where you can really back yourself up and get behind yourself. And you become self-directed. You are your inner leader. So you can start to trust your inner leader. And then that's how you heal, when you start to trust yourself. So my soul style, in full acceptance of what is, I'm removing judgment from what things should look like. So an example would be, I can be best friends with an ex, my friend in Ibiza, because our friendship is so powerful towards each other that we want to stay in that connection, but there are many parts of the relationship that don't work. Now, society standard says you have an ex, you don't talk to them. That's pretty typical. There are many people that can work around it, but that's pretty typical boundary-driven society standards. The other one is, I don't have to have children to feel fulfilled. And that was for me, it was a really big acceptance process of if I don't have kids, I'm going to be pretty pointless in the world. And so I've taken 3 years to work through that one. And when I was on my retreat, we were doing this meditation, it was yoga, yin yoga, yin yoga. And it was the metal, so lungs, metal release process. So this woman was incredible. She took me through all these different ways to do yoga so that you're activating different energies in your body. So being wood and rooting into the ground and into the air and getting creative, to then releasing and letting go. So we really let go. And that was where I let go of that whole, I must have children to be fulfilled and important in the world. The one thing that fulfills me the most is my work, and that is my baby. And I do it in the most loving and fulfilling and nurturing way so that I can stay healthy. And that's how we navigate and, change our minds and make decisions and say no, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm not going to launch this way anymore. I'm just going to, start talking, and I'm going to feel more comfortable, talking to my audience with a little bit of a different twang. And that's okay. You can totally do that. But it's the commitment to the journey. So you have to be present to be able to overcome those fears. When you commit to the journey, you have to stay present with that commitment so you can overcome your fears. And everyone experiences fear, but not everyone finds resolution with what has them captured and what's stopping them from moving forward. And that's that little piece of discord in your body that you're like, oh God, I can't talk about it. Oh God, I don't know what to do. I'm going to get all panicky. So for me, my trauma was that. It was what was stopping me from moving forward. I felt trauma on such a cellular level from the many events in my life that I actually couldn't sometimes talk because I was like frozen. I could keep things like kind of intimate, but when I was thinking of like talking out to a broader audience, I would be like, okay, like I would bump up against something, and I would bump up against it in my relationships, my intimate relationships with partners. I would bump up against it with my family. But when the Me Too movement happened, I had to commit to myself to move through it because it was such a massive, massive moment in history and in time that women came together. I realized that I was behind the gun on my own healing journey of where I wanted to be. If a moment, like I kind of had this weird moment in my head that like, woo, women would sort of rise up. Well, I wasn't actually ready for that. And I was like, oh shit, I'm behind on my own journey. Okay, let's get up to speed. So I hired a trauma therapist and I moved through it and I kept working through it and I moved past, and it isn't holding me in place anymore. My past does not have me captivated anymore. So I committed to my business. I recommitted to my business, and then I recommitted to my business. And I let everything sort of fall apart for like, not fall apart, but like I sort of tore it down for 6 months and like just did bit pieces here and there and tried to like re-navigate what I really felt was real and right. I condensed my lifestyle so I could do that, but I also expanded it in many other ways in my own physical body. I recommitted to my style so that I could change into my new essence. I recommitted to my body love, to my tribe, and to my personal success. So really working on those visions, but doing all of that on my terms, not on the terms that society has told us to be. And that's what creating your soul style is really about, right? It's not just like, I'm going to teach you how to get dressed. It's actually like, we'll get dressed and you'll know how to do it and you'll own it and you'll feel really awesome in it. But there is all this stuff that's going like this before you can get into your clothing. And when we can take all the stuff and bring it over here into like this really awesome routine inside your closet to get you ready for every single day so you can show up awesome and epic, then that's great. So how I do it on my terms, I have 4 different products that I offer. So I'm building Get Photo Ready right now, and we're going to do a brand magnification challenge next week. So watch out for that. It's going to be super fun. And this is really teaching you how to show up in front of any camera so that you can be yourself, be confident and comfortable, and the nuts and bolts of like, you know, what it's like in production. And then I have the somatic dressing, how to embody your true style. And that's really an adjustment of what Create Your Soul Style was. So somatic dressing is going to go into a smaller container where it's a shorter program, but it's much more focused on healing the body. And then Create Your Soul Style is going to go into a bigger container where it's a mastermind. And it's really about finding that expression of your signature style. So you're going to go through the somatic dressing method. You're going to get photo ready because you're going to work through those things, but in more of a mastermind format. And then the body brand is really about taking all of that and working with me so that I'm your creative director, your coach, and your healer at the same time. So this is where I learned that trust is paramount because, well, I created these products for a reason, but I trust myself because I'm creating from the informed wisdom of my body. Now I'm letting my body lead me on my creative path. And when you trust yourself, that true self comes forward because opportunities and inspirations arise. So it kind of becomes this like, you know, you hear people talk about the tumbleweed effect or the ripple effect, right? Things just start to rise. And, you know, I would hear people talk about it, but never really felt like in the flow of it. So we do this, actually, we train the body to do this with clothing, and that's where the clothes really come in. We dress for your body's true expression of self. where it is now. So we're taking present moments, and yes, your style will evolve, and like over time it always does. And I'll tell you a little bit about mine actually. Because when I started the journey through the style archetypes, creating the style archetypes, I had this question in my mind: what if I evolve? What if, I'm a boho warrior? What if I go into another area? And as a boho warrior, there is a hard part of me that my physicality needed that softer, more goddess-like manifestation thing. On my trip to Ibiza, I let my goddess in. So, and like, she manifested the shit out of that trip to Ibiza. Let me just tell you, she got a free flight, a free place to stay, a 5-day yoga retreat for only 200 euros. That's about $230. A free scooter. So like scooter, just go wherever you want, whenever you want. And then a photo shoot for only 150 euros. So that's almost $200. So all of that made it a healing and business trip that I could have easily paid like $15,000 for a 2-week vacation. I also had, it was really 3 weeks because I was in England before that. But it only cost me $1,000 totally in food and luxury goods. So for me, that's like manifestation on steroids, because I wasn't even conscious of what was coming to me. I just said yes to the invitation. And we had to work out through our own body's wisdom where we were in our friendship relationship. And then I had to trust that the yoga retreat was actually going to be there, present, and cool. And it was beyond my wildest dreams. And then I found this like magical land that is actually kismet to my style archetype, because it has fashion, like it is a crazy fashion expression. I'm not saying like Paris Fashion Central, but it has like my bohemian style all over it. And it's a healing center. So if you can just bring those two worlds together, it's like, reverberates out on another level for me. And that's where my style archetype really led me there. But now I'm really because my warrior is here and my goddess is here, they're finding this balance. I'm really stepping into this Amazon role. And this is a really healing moment for me, because when I was in college and I was in acting school, my acting teacher was like, "Oh, well, you're an Amazon for Hollywood." And I was like, I took that as like, you're fat and ugly. And it took me to Wonder Woman to realize what an Amazon actually really looked like and how cool it could be. And I don't know if all Amazons look that way, but Hollywood really refamed that in a beautiful way for me. So the warrior and the goddess unite. And so there's these things called personas that I talked about earlier, the masks, right? And we need to break through them so that we can see your true personalities. But they're also like just parts of you, personas. They're just little pieces of you. So like the sporty self that I was earlier this morning, I'm still going to have the thread of like my boho Amazon, but I'm going to be my sportier self, or I'm going to go be my more nomadic self, or my more elegant self. I'm going to my parents' 20th anniversary for their store. So it got to look a little nice. Or the chic self, right? Or the fancy self. Now I've been doing the fancy girl a lot. I'm trying to throw that one out the window. It's not my favorite one, but you know what? I'll accept it. It's cool. I've made some peace with it. So there is the true you underneath all of these masks and these personas. That's the true image of yourself, right? And your style archetype can do that for you, can help you bring there. It's an external projection of who you really are. So in following my own guide and being the leader of my own life and trusting my deep knowing, I'm moving to Europe. So because it's been 20 years that I've betrayed my body and said no to this vision, the details are like still totally being sorted out, but it looks like 2 months I'll be overseas, and in 2 months that is, and Nikita's coming, and she's really the biggest variable for me to plan around. But when you walk into like that ultimate vision, and more importantly that epic sensation in your body where you can't deny it anymore, and you say like, oh, there is this physical manifestation, on a cellular level, it rids all disease. It sheds all fear. It releases any doubts, and then you're ready for the leap. And that is like the moment that you can say, like, it don't matter that I don't have kids. I have the ultimate freedom to do what I desire in life, and I'm going to explore and see where I land. So it's a very open journey. I'm going to base myself in Ibiza for 3 months and satellite around Europe, and then go to London and base there for 3 months, and then go back to Spain, and we'll just see what happens. So I'd love to invite you to a conversation about how I can help you step into your dreams. There are a handful of women that have been waiting for Create Your Soul Style to come back. I am doing breakthrough calls because this is going to be an application process now going forward. And you really can have everything that you want. You can. And I really want you to hear this and know this so that you can feel like you can step into your true self. So that's like my little wild announcement, and that's why we're all here on this pop-up call. I'd love to open it up. You guys can unmute yourself if you want to ask any questions, or you can type them in the comments. And Michelle, if you could, I'm seeing, congrats. Oh my gosh, yay, thanks. Thank you. So thanks, guys. Yeah, it's going to be quite wild. If you can, Michelle, if you can put the breakthrough link in there so anyone can just pop on. And let me just see to everyone. Okay. Just make sure it goes. There you go. You got it. And if there are any questions, this is really about figuring out the next level of your business and your journey, and how you want to integrate that into your life so that you can fulfill the dreams that you have. Now, the way I do this is, yes, through styling, but it's also this soul healing journey. And when we merge those two, you begin to manifest not only from the inside, but also from the outside. So it becomes this like matching and mirroring process from the inside and outside. Does anyone have any questions? I'm going to unmute. Hold on. Let me just see. There we go. Okay. Bring the chat up. Okay. So when I look at how my soul style informed me where to go, who to be, and what to do, when I arrived in Spain, I was like, oh, no joke, people. Like, this is where I was supposed to be. I get it. And it doesn't mean I'm supposed to be there forever, but it's where I'm supposed to be to make this transition into the next level of acceptance of myself, right? Into the next rhythm of my life. And it's almost like creating a new season, but I'm riding the wave of what will be the next evolution of my business. Now, I'm not tearing my business down. I'm saying, okay, this is the way we're going to go. We're going to have a couple products here, and then we're going to have some coaching options. And where before, it felt like I'd have something, and then I'd have another thing, and then I'd have one thing. And now I'm building a really strong container so that the communication lines and what I'm pulling in for the opportunity for my clients to work with me, and so we can work together to build and rise together at the same time. And when you can find that place inside yourself where you not only trust yourself on that level, but you can act from that place, the freedom to be you and to just chill the fuck out every day and not worry about things that are out of your control, that is paramount. That is so paramount. When you can say, guess what? That's not in my control. What's in my control right now is that the way I breathe. Because on a cellular level, that's what your body needs to be reinformed. And then it can be like, hey, I need to get change out of this outfit so that I can feel a little more flowy. Or like, I need to wear something that's a little more supportive so I can feel stronger. Because I'm feeling a little weak and I got to get through the day. Or I'm feeling so weak that I need to go lay down and I need to go rest. And really being conscious and present with your body for those moments. So I'm totally honest, this is an open call. You guys can ask any questions about anything you want, anything that's going on in your life, anything that you need, any style questions. We got it here. And if not, I'm going to open up. Sweta, can you chat? No. Okay. Sweta?
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Hi.
Hi. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my video. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I was just writing you a note because I was about to step out, but I just wanted to say, like, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. And there's just so much about what you shared that I can relate to. It's been a big part of my journey as well as the creativity aspect. Yeah. And just that yearning of being an artist, but thinking that an artist, like you were saying, it's not about being a painter or a photographer, but I think it's an artist of how we choose to live.
Yeah, that's so true. It really is. And that's like, I'm the creator of my life and I drive my destiny. And I used to live in anxiety and depression all the time because I was out of control with that and out of balance with it.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, literally, like, so I went down that whole Jeff Walker rabbit hole and all that stuff as well. And I think that was part of the process of, like, I don't operate this way, you know, and the way I create and structure my business. So it's just, I think, nice to hear each other's stories because it's affirming that there is I think more and more of us that need to operate that way, want to operate that way. And
I think that I really, like, I'm giving a lecture on Friday morning and it's about personal branding and it's really about, like, old marketing doesn't really work anymore, and the story-driven, vulnerability, connected, and sacred marketing is actually making impact on the world, and that's why we have influencer marketing, and that's why we have all these different pieces and aspects to it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you guys don't know Sweta, she is an epic, like, she's so good at following the signs. She'll tell you, like, the different beats in her day and what it meant and how she got there. And, like, I mean, there are times she's told stories that I'm like, how did you remember and connect all those details? It's incredible. So.
Yeah. And like, you know, just grounding it, like how you were saying that it can feel so intangible. It could feel
right.
But I think we all have these ways of connecting that go, like, just beyond dressing or, you know, or just it being like a coincidence.
For sure. And that's really, like, for this call, it's to clarify, like, Create Your Soul Style is about getting dressed, but it's really about how you show up in the world.
Right. Absolutely. And totally the seasons. I think that's a big part. Like, I'm working with my next season right now, and for me, it's a co-creation, and the word wild keeps coming up. So I'm just, like, following that.
Cool.
I have a photo scheduled. I don't have it scheduled yet. I have it booked, and I have a choice to do it this summer or do it in the fall.
Cool.
And I also feel like there is, like, momentum in my business as well, and it's starting to kind of I think it's always that pull, right, between, like, you want structure, but then you want freedom. And so I've been playing with that a lot as well. And so I'm really excited. And I think, like, following your, I'm curious to know what style wants to be expressed in the photo shoot. And I feel like it hasn't fully kind of come up. That's why I don't want to book it yet.
Right. Well, we can do it. We can do a sesh on that.
Cool. Yeah. It's something about why being edgy and kind of a little bit more. I'm kind of on the opposite spectrum as you. Like, I went real feminine, and now there's, like, a part of my masculine that's wanting to come out.
I love that. Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll figure that out. So good. I'm actually going to kind of beat off of that because Michelle just put in a question. I love you, Sweta.
Bye.
Thank you. Michelle just put in a question saying, how do you anticipate your style evolving as you move to Europe? I love that question. So, I'm in the process of evaluating that. There are two ways I can do it. One, I can get rid of everything that I own. So, like, sell everything, like, get rid of all the stuff except for, like, the pictures of me as a kid and, you know, my dog and me as a kid. And sell my furniture. It all has value. So it could be just money in my bank account right now. I'm definitely selling my car, my Mini. My clothing, well, it's hard. I'm working through it. I'm not a good packer, and so I'm approaching a way to be an influencer for them so that I can document my journey with a big suitcase, and that's it. So that's really my goal. As I see my physical exterior style, I think it's going to look stronger and in more flow and a little more organic. So really like letting go of some of the refinement that I can get stuck in. But let's be honest, I still like to look good. I don't like to look, totally messed up. So like I'll do things like get my eyelashes done instead of wearing mascara. Like for me, that's a much easier way of like waking up every day because I like the look of mascara. I'm going to wear it, but it's going to be, by the end of the day, it's going to be all over my face and then I look tired and I don't like that. So little things like that, I will make investments to do for myself because it feels easier, right? And it's like 1 hour once a month. Like I don't ever get my nails done. So like, it's not something I'm really interested in, but when I look at, I think I'm going to go more on the bohemian journey, and I don't know how deep that can go. And I learned the hard way that if you look too bohemian in airports, you get pulled aside. So it's definitely good to like wear the mask of I'm super conservative when you're going through airports. But side note, nothing bad happened. It's just like I don't ever get searched in America, and in Amsterdam I did. Okay, so Sarah says, I'm losing touch with my style a bit. Tips to get back in touch with it. So if you feel disconnected from your style, you're disconnected from your body. So take a deep breath in and relax into your body and note where you feel like your body needs support, where your body needs to be enhanced energetically, right? Because we got to go back to like the basics. Like it's about energetic foundations, right? And your energy dictates how you dress, and you're just looking at material as a way to be an expression of that energy. So for me, like this event tonight, I'm wrapping myself up in a dress. I really like have thought about not going, but I have to go. Like it's important that I go. And so I've prepared myself to do that, but I'm wearing a bodysuit underneath to feel secure. So when you start to apply clothing to your body in a way that's feeding its needs, it's beyond, you're superseding style, right? It's there's got to be another word. I mean, I call it the somatic dressing method for a reason, right? Because you're somatically applying clothing to your body so that you can be effective and efficient in the world. So when we look at style, we look at from the outside in. And when you feel disconnected from your style, I need you to go back into your body, do the art of style meditation, do the associating where your emotions are on your body, what you're actually feeling inside. And that becomes the constant journey. That becomes where you can find your clear form of expression. And we can break it down to say, what does my body need to be as effective and powerful as possible? And second, just muting you, Pepita. Hi. What does my body need to be as effective and powerful as possible? And, oh, bye, Lorna. Thanks so much. Hope the babe is okay. And then how can I enhance the energy, protect the energy, support it, or release it? And you want to really look at like what's important. Like, did the overall concept of like, do I need to release a lot of anger and fear? Yeah, maybe you do. Do I need to support my power center, my third chakra, and really stand tall and like wear an empire waist? I mean, my dress is tied right across my power center, so I remember to be like, and I can relax my shoulders into that. And my bodysuit actually has like a center panel from my breastbone, so like right at the base of my boobs, right at my solar plexus, all the way down like this. Like it has a reinforced panel just right here so that to my hips. So I can feel that sensation of like support coming up, right? Okay. Oh, thanks, Sarah. You're so cute. And yes, I'm coming to Europe, England for quite a few months. So I will see you for sure. Michelle says, your message, wait, hold on. Oh, she says, and 2, what did you learn in Spain that you're doing differently, better with body acceptance than Americans? Holy cow. That's a great question, Michelle. Okay. So, cellulite, right? It's a fact of life. Like, it's just part of the aging process. I don't care how great and like strong you are. It's going to happen. But in American culture, we're told that we need to be skinny, that we need to look super fit, that we can't have a flaw, because if we have a flaw, then there's actually like, we've done something wrong. And the women over there are stunning. They might wear a little too little clothing for me. The Abyssinian style is very like not a lot of clothing, but I found that, you know, you had the skinny women who were strong, but they had cellulite, and it was totally cool. And like, you know, everyone walked around topless, and it was great. And people felt like really sensual, but not overly sexual, right? So there were definitely the overly sexual, like crazy partier people. I didn't really encounter too many of that because I was in sort of this like sensualized realm. And that's where I really feel like the experience of putting on clothing transformed for me, because I stopped judging my body. Like, oh, can you see that new ripple of cellulite on my right thigh? Like, it's just under my butt cheek. It's there. Can you see if I bend my leg the right way? Oh, someone might see it. And now, like, I don't care. I'm going to wear my short shorts because I love them. They feel good. And I've spent years wasting time judging myself over my legs. And I have pretty decent legs, and I've spent a lot of time judging myself over them. So letting go around those things and really seeing like imperfections are part of your beauty and your uniqueness. And because it's actually your physical expression of how you've interpreted the world, right? Like how you've digested the world, let's say. And that's totally cool, because guess what? They're on your body, you're owning it. Now, it's different than like putting a tattoo on your body. I'm talking about like where you carry your weight. Now, I'm really trying to do research around how our physical measurements and the size system that we have created and our energy systems overlap. I'm going to someday figure out how to really do this research efficiently, but I want to see where we could all find a new language for sizing and looking at the body. I know that I've had this conversation with many people, but now I'm sort of in it on another level and looking. I have new tools that I'm working with that I'm going to start to, you know, to work with that can make the data more compelling when I work with clients. So that's and that's just really being able to collect the right data. So Michelle says, your message resonates. I used to change my outfits throughout my day, and now I understand why. I'm ready to rebuild my wardrobe and would love to know where to shop. Okay. So, I mean, right now is Nordstrom's anniversary sale. So go straight to Nordstrom, go to Nordstrom Rack, go to Nordstrom. That is, you're going to get the best deals of your life there right now. But I think before you just shop, it's more about identifying those areas in your bodies of your body that you want to like support or protect or release, or how do you want to feel. And so knowing what that energy can do for you and how you want to dictate that is super, super duper important. Okay, sorry, I just was checking something. Thanks, Sarah, you're so sweet. So Sarah says, Michelle, was that good? Did you need anything else? Ooh. Hold on. Okay, someone new came on, so I'm muting them. All right. So Sarah says, huge grief to release, plus just want to lie in a hammock for 2 weeks. My baby had cellulite. That's when I released the whole thing was a con. Yes. So Sarah's talking about her style when she had put she's sort of out of touch with her style. So these like little releasing of grief is massive for her to know that there's a sensation of needing to ease into her body and relax into it and like she just wants to lie in a hammock for 2 weeks. So there is this thing that we need to do to honor ourselves, and it says step towards what you're desiring. As freaking crazy as it may sound, like really, as crazy as it may sound, to lay in a hammock for 2 weeks, it could really transform your life. I mean, I went to Spain for 2 weeks and it transformed my life. And I took relaxation to another level to fill my cup, to inquiry, to listen to what my body needs. Remember when I said before I was leaving, I'm going to listen? Well, I was going to listen. I was going to see what the hell was the next step, because I felt a little trapped here in my home in America. I was sort of like, I don't know what to do. And it made no financial sense to me until all of a sudden everything became free and cost nothing. I was like, well, this is kind of wild. Like, it just didn't totally make sense with where I was at and the expenses that I already had to go out and like spend big money on a trip. And then all of a sudden I didn't have to spend money on the trip. And it was like, oh, okay, this is amazing. And so I think when we listen to that deep inner calling of lay in the hammock for 2 weeks, even though it doesn't make any sense, it welcomes in this rhythm of trusting yourself, of accepting what is and trusting yourself with what you need, so that on the other end, you can have something else. Now, you're not doing that to get something specifically. That's a misnomer in manifestation, let me tell you. That is a big, big, big misnomer. Saying, oh, if I do this, then I'm going to get that. That's manipulation. So Michelle says, love your answers and how travel and going other places, seeing other ways of living helps us rethink our own lives and habits. So true, Michelle. I know. Traveling, it really allows you to just step into releasing judgments, right? Getting to the forefront of your story, getting clear on who you are, on what your priorities are. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be totally superficially transparent. I thought that before I left, I was like, well, I just need to make a goal of buying a Range Rover so that I can like make my next income goal, right? Like there was this weird goal-oriented system inside me. And I was kind of like trying to figure it out. I like did the math. I was like, okay, I can make the payment. Like this all works. I can do this. And then the trip to Spain came up and I was like, I'm going. And I left that preconceived notion of like what that thing would like represent for me. I let that go. And I reprioritized everything inside my system on this trip. And I understand people have family and kids and they can't do what I'm about to do. But there are ways you can do it within your own realm, within your own life. So reprioritizing what truly is important to me and the sensation in my body that I get when I'm in Europe and in England is something that I don't feel in other countries. I don't feel it in America. I don't feel it in Canada. I don't feel it in Australia. I felt it in Israel. So I definitely felt it in Israel. I don't really feel it in Scotland, which is interesting. So if I look at all the different places I've been in the world, I've actually been doing this research for 20 years, even more than 20 years, but traveling the world, being like, where do I feel at home? Where do I feel at home? So there is something to do with the place to help me reprioritize myself so that energetically I can align on a different level. And that aligns my own inner wisdom and also a deep knowing that it is like Michelle just goes, like taking a fake sick day and lying in a hammock for one day. Every little bit counts. It's so true. Every little, like, no, you don't have to go as big as I just went, but I'm going big. But just that one day in the hammock, maybe will fill your soul up just enough so that you can breathe a little bit more, so that you can take a step into the new sensation of yourself, and we can redress that person that's desiring to come forward. Because when we want something and we can't get there, there's a deep desire of this being wanting to come forward towards you, but you're blocking it somewhere in there. And I kid you not, I've listened to calls like this for a long time. Like, I'd say 10 years I've listened to different calls like this. And I'd be like, but I just can't get there. I'm not there yet. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, like I'm there. I've got to that place where my system is saying, no, you have to like live for your dreams. Because if you don't, you're living like a farce, like you're being a fraud. But I'm staying current with that. And I'm pulling in what I actually truly need. And then I'm learning to trust myself in the process even deeper. But also, which is like this one big aha, is like really rebuilding faith in the universe. I think when we get to a certain age, we have broken faith in the universe so often because of events that have hurt us and let us down. And when we start to rebuild our faith in the universe, not meaning like I believe in God, because that's just not my realm. I'm totally cool if that's your realm, but it's more like I believe that there is a force out there that is driving me forward. And for me, and it's like pulling me in a direction and leading me, but I have to follow it and I have to lead myself to get there too. And when you start to do that dance, it becomes wildly magical and things happen that you just don't know. So just being mindful of time, we have about 2 minutes left. I want to know if anyone has any more questions, any burning desires. Unmute yourself if you want to. Did I hear someone just now? No. Oh, Michelle. No. Okay.
Oh, hey, Carrie.
Oh, hey, Adam, there you are. I was like, who is it? I can hear him.
I just did it. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Amazing. I just, all of the things that you were saying in the beginning, it's just uncanny. I've been writing about those very things.
Oh, I love that.
I've just been writing, and I really feel that there's an energy coming now that we're tapping into, and it really is so strong.
Yeah.
And it's for all women. And what I was writing about was really this, because I came to that in myself, this really sense of peace of where I am, which doesn't actually, it has to do with where I am physically, like living where I live, and it doesn't. And it's like those things marry each other. And so when I start to feel the peace of acceptance that you were saying of my whole self, then where I live is easier to determine where's the right place for me, because I'm going to those, like if I was looking for somewhere else to live, I would go there and I'd be in really close connected to the core of myself, and I would know. So when I hear you speaking about your move, it's like it makes so much sense, and you're so connected to yourself from the inside.
Yeah, and just like on a real level, I didn't have any episodes when I was over there, and I get home and I had them daily for the first week. And so it made reentry really hard, right? And my stress levels were not higher, but I was seizing, and it was like, well, this is ridiculous. Like, I've been totally free. So I think there's some, real, like, clear signs on a physical level, but it's actually stepping towards the thing that's really scary too, because I'm scared. Like, there's lots of unknowns, right?
Yeah, and it sounds like when we can open ourselves up and accept what the land has to offer us, as we're women, and we connect and we draw so much from the earth. And so if you are able to open up and receive what that land has to give you, then you can accept its healing, which maybe that whatever is there is what your body needs to heal right now, which is not where you are. So it really is very beautiful. It's like a harmonious knowing in yourself, and that's part of what I've been writing about with health and vitality. And when you were talking about creativity, the creativity being not just drawing or writing or whatever it is. It's living in that rhythm, really living connected to the life force.
Right.
And that our whole life is that, and how that just brings such peace. And then the other things fall into place. And so I've just been really grateful working with you, and hearing your story and your journey has been such a gift as I'm going through my own journey. It's like, this is not just me feeling like this, and I'm seeing results, and it's amazing.
Yeah. And honestly, like, all clothing aside, I'm only here to inspire people. Like, really, I'm here to, live in abundance and success and love, but I'm here to inspire other people to do the same for themselves.
Well, you are, for sure. And the clothing is such a huge piece, and it's really something
for sure. I mean, it's a really practical part.
Yeah. But it's like the way that it's connected, and the way that it is coming to a place that's our true selves, and it's huge. And I'm finding through the process that I'm connecting with parts of myself, that I'm picking up clothes that I already have that I stopped wearing, and I go, wait, what? Why did I stop wearing that?
Right.
Because I let those parts of myself be put on the back burner, and it's like, oh wait, no, I love those parts of myself. I love and then I bring that out, and it like reconnects me with that girl that I set aside when I whatever, got married, had kids, this or that. And it's really strengthening, and really just allowing me to feel okay stepping out into the world as I am, because it's
so
the real
awesome.
me. So
Yay!
And I have to tell you something that's so uncanny, that that I'm doing the Daring to Rest program with Karen Brody, right?
Yes.
And
so is Jamie, who did Create Your Soul.
Yes, and Jamie. So Karen was vacationing. She's still there in Ibiza. So
are you joking me?
You two are the two women I've been working with this year, and you ended up I didn't know that's where she was going, and that's where, and I was
my God, I wish I'd known. I would love to connect with her there. But let it be known, I'm going to do a retreat in Ibiza in like fall 2019.
Okay, so you're not doing a retreat in Maine, was my question. No. Because you're going. Well,
because I'm leaving
there.
I'm leaving before then. So it just.
And can you tell me about the body brand work? What is that going to be? Like, that personal? Is that one-on-one? What is?
So the body brand is 1-to-1, and it really takes you through the whole, like, the inner depths of the process. So, and it's a 4-month container, and we're working daily in and out on how to build you into complete alignment, but also build your brand in alignment with your body, and help you dictate and make choices in your life. But there's also like photo shoot in there, and there's also like learning how to be in front of the camera. There's logistics, business and branding, and styling, and all the soul and healing work together.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's fun. Super fun. Yeah. So I'd love to play with you in it. And if you want to just sign up for a breakthrough call, Michelle, will you post that link one more time in there so that it's more accessible? I think Carrie and Sibulka, so I don't know how to say her last name, Sibulak, I can't say it right, wanted it too. So awesome.
Great, thanks.
Cool, thank you so much. Thanks. I'm so glad you're here. It's great to connect with you.
Yeah, you too.
Yay!
You too. All the best for you.
Thank you. We'll be in touch for sure.
Of course, yeah.
All right. So, Sarah, did you have something you wanted to ask? I saw that you had unmuted yourself, but I wasn't sure.
Just saying hi and excited you're moving to Europe. Hooray!
You're what?
Very excited you're moving to Europe.
I know, we'll be close. It's so fun. I was just looking at places in like the Cheltenham area. Yeah, for December, like for Christmas to March. So,
yay! Well, let us know if you need any guidance or anything.
I really might. I have to like buy a car and all that fun stuff. So,
okay.
I know. I'm so excited.
Brilliant.
Yay! So fun. And we'll be chatting soon too. So,
yes.
All right. Big kiss. Go sit in a hammock, will you?
Well done. Yeah, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
All right, cool. Big kiss.
Thank you.
Ciao. Hi, Pepita.
Hi. I just have a question. Is the body branding the same as helping me brand my business?
It's in conjunction. So it helps refocus and redirect your brand. So it's really about, like, how do we position your business? How do we align it more effectively and efficiently with your body so that you're creating more of your ideal lifestyle, right? And you're creating like your true expression and your true communication. What happens often is we build a business because we think it looks good or it feels right or it'll make us money, but it's completely out of alignment with ourselves. And we end up having cyclical issues over and over and over again. And the body brand, the goal of that is to really step into your body's wisdom. We work through the processes through the somatic dressing method. We work one-to-one to really dive into what the hell's going on and where we can find the biochemical experience that you're having, find that expression, and then monetize it.
Okay, and there's a link somewhere in here that I can go to.
Yeah, just to do a breakthrough call. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, and we'll chat further about it.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Cool. Yay. Any other questions? I know we are like, yeah, we're at 5:08. I do need to bounce because I am going to my parents' 20th anniversary for their store. My mom's design business, super fun. So she's built an incredible little empire in a small town in Maine. I'm really proud of her. Super cool. So, okay, if there aren't any more questions, I am going to say ciao for now. I love you. Thank you for showing up with me and playing with me and chatting with me and sharing with me. I love you to pieces. We're on this journey together and we'll just keep rocking it out, okay? Big kiss. Talk to you later.